We will discuss about communication for work purposes. Next topic natin is about endorsements and follow-up letters. So these are both request letters. In doing your request letters, you need to be cautious all the time. What if you will be the one to request for an endorsement? Here are the things that you should do. State who you are, the name of your company or organization, and your position or role. Remind as well the reader of your relationship to him or her if necessary. Second, use clear, specific language to request the endorsement. Describe clearly what is it that you would like to endorse para walang misunderstanding or confusion in part of your reader. Then you should explain why you are requesting the endorsement, what it will be used for, and why you feel that endorsement is necessary, or why you merit receiving the endorsement, and so forth. Then include guidelines for the format, length, or content of the endorsement letter. Also, indicate anything else that the reader needs to do to provide the endorsement, such as filling out attached forms in the line. Instead of following it up, use through phone calls na, ay, o nga po pala, meron po naka-attach dyan na form, paki-fill out na lang po. O kaya po, hello po, tumawag po ako, ganito po, kailangan po 2 page yung endorsement letter na gagawin ninyo. But just not indicate by when you need the letter of endorsement. And if ever that it should be mailed, consider providing a pre-addressed stamp envelope with your request letter. And if you plan to make a follow-up call to the reader, indicate in your letter when you intend to do so. This is actually goes to any type of phone call. You should inform that person beforehand. Then thank the reader for considering the endorsement, for considering the endorsement, and for the time he spent, but never thank you in advance. What if you will be the one to give the endorsement? Indicate what or who it is that you are endorsing and substantiate your endorsement. So you need to give the reasons for such. You can do so through the following. If you are endorsing a particular person for a position, role, job, etc., you should include how long you have known the person, in what capacity, the positive qualities of the person that make him or her a suitable candidate for the endorsement, and be as specific as possible. Next, if necessary, indicate the next that should be taken or what will happen next. Include a time frame if appropriate. And you may also include your contact information and offer to give further information upon request. Then you have to conclude your letter by summarizing the reasons for the endorsement and by restating your endorsement of the person or project. So after the request letter, let's now talk about follow-up letters. Follow-up letter is best written after a business meeting or a job interview, or after making a great business contract para fresh pa yung details. It provides an avenue for continuing communication and connects the points discussed and agreed during the previous meeting. When writing your follow-up letter, make sure to observe the grammar flaws and spelling errors. Because a well-written follow-up letter can make a great impact on your future career and expected success. As you write your follow-up letter, bear in mind that it needs to be fairly formal. Use more appropriate words and phrases. Write your thoughts straight to the point and do not go around the bush. Read and proofread it thoroughly. Use grammar checking tool and comprehensive spell checker. Keep a good dictionary as your essential reference for words. Let's now have here some tips from Learn English to help you write a better follow-up letter. 1. Start with your name, address, city and zip code, telephone number. Include next the recipient's detail. Note that in a follow-up letter, you're going to write to the same person you had originally written or contacted with. That's why in the first line, mention that you had written earlier and haven't received a response yet. So you can mention here that you had actually called, let him know that you are writing, pero courteous pa din. Dapat mabait pa din kayo sa pagsasabi. So, you need to state your request or interest. If you are writing or inquiring about a job vacancy for which you had sent a job application, reiterate your key skills, experiences, and state why you think you are a great potential. But you don't need to bring out your full CV. They invite for contact and in for their attention. After that, here are more things that you'll need to remember than the actual steps to write the letter. Una, add fresh insights to your own appeal para maging remarkable kayo sa inyong prospective employer. Then take as best 2 days after a meeting or a job interview to write a follow-up letter. Work while the memories are still fresh in the recipient's mind. Then, if you sent a CV, wait 7 days before sending the follow-up letter. Then, do not bring up your full curriculum vitae in the letter. Include the highlights and what are the competencies that you think will get you to the job. Do not convey negative sentiments in your letter, even if you are frustrated by their speed and sincerity. Indicate how you want to proceed next in your letter if you think it is needed, and be extremely polite if you feel like they've been ignoring you by ignoring your past letters. And if you want, you can attach copies to document to prove that you have sent letters earlier and follow up again if required. And that ends for follow-up letter. Next topic is writing etiquette. Whenever we are texting, here are the things that we should remember. Always consider your audience and your company and choose words or terms or abbreviations that will deliver your message appropriately and effectively. When we say deliver your message appropriately and effectively, ito yung main goal of communication. Whether it is through texting, email, or any other conversation. Because there are words, terms, or abbreviations that might be comprehensible in your company and to you, but not comprehensible to other organizations and audiences as well. That's why you need to know your recipient. In knowing your recipient, you will also do the first bullet, which is considering your audience. Apart from that, using appropriate codes and symbols. Kasi whenever we are creating text message, especially if that is intended for co-workers or our supervisors, make sure to it that it will be comprehensible, clear, and professional. Symbols and codes might cause confusion sa part ng audience kung hindi nyo na-convey properly kung ano yung meaning ng codes and symbols na to. Next is that never abuse text messaging. Then don't text while driving. So isa sa pinaka-common reasons kung bakit nagkakaroon ng road accidents ay texting while driving. So what can we do to avoid it? Pwede namang tumigil muna sa side ng road at i-text kung importante talaga. Next, moving forward to email. When it comes to email, you should start your salutation in a professional manner. Then use clear, short, and specific subject line. Same din sa purpose ng subject line sa isang letter. Subject line for email states the gist, the overview of the email. Then end with your name, company information, and signature. There is an option for email wherein you will type in once at i-attach mo na lang siya every time na meron magsasend sa'yo ng mail. In doing so, hindi mo na siya paulit-ulit na itatype. Then avoid abbreviations. Just like texting na pwedeng magkaroon ng confusion in part of the reader, ganun din ang purpose kaya iniiwasan natin gumamit abbreviations sa email. Then observe conciseness and good format. According to bullet number 2, as much as possible, mga sentences lang na doon na lahat ng gusto mo sabihin. And then good format. Later, I will discuss to you how you are going to compose your email. Next is reread, revise, and review before sending to intended recipients. Kasi possible na meron pang errors doon o kaya naman mali yung na-type niyo na email address. Kapag mali yung na-type niyo na email address, babalik lang sa inyo yung inyong email. Or hindi siya magsasend or magkakaroon kayo ng notification mail about invalid email address. Then reply promptly and use reply all sparingly. This is one of the common mistakes na ginagawa kapag nakasend sa madaming recipients yung isang email. They tend to click reply all instead of reply only. When you click reply all, lahat ng email address na may copy ng email na yun, makaka-receive din ng response ninyo. Then avoid using all caps. There are two connotations when we are using all caps. First is that it emphasizes the word or the term. Second is that it expresses extreme emotion. Then give feedback or follow up. Feedback in part of the recipient kasi it is courteous to send a message na na-receive mo yung email from the other party. Then follow up. If ever na hindi pa nakakapag-reply yung recipient, possible kasi na natabunan na yung original email mo. That's why you need to follow up, especially kung kinakailangan mo talaga yung content or yung information na nire-request mo on your original email. Then, test provided links before sending your email to avoid broken links. Next thing to it is avoid sending emails with large files. Avoid sending emails with large files because there is a limit set for the attachment in emails. It would be better to compress the files into zip or RAR file. So right now, I'll be playing to you a video which contains some additional information for email.
Before you hit send, email is a vital part of business communication. Unfortunately, many employees don't know how to use email well, nor do they understand the risks of using it inappropriately. Before you hit the send button, ask yourself these questions. If the message is addressed to more than one person, does it really need to be? Reply all should be used very sparingly. Am I angry? If so, save the message as a draft and return to it at least an hour later. Have I reread what I wrote to be sure it's well written and punctuated correctly? Could I better accomplish the purpose of the message with a phone call or other method of communication? Am I covering more than one subject? If so, consider sending a separate message for each subject. Am I blind copying anyone? If so, how will the primary recipient feel if he or she finds out? Am I attaching a file that may be too large for the recipient to receive, or in a format that will be difficult for the recipient to open? Have I included a subject line that provides the recipient with a useful context for my message? We hope you'll follow these guidelines to make email a more useful and effective business tool. Thank you.
So here we have language of adulting email. This was taken from Tandamo na adults in the time of COVID-19. And first is we have here the header, or what you should write for the header of your email. Direct email recipient, which is in the 2 line. So ito yung ating primary recipient. Then we have CC, sending a copy to other email addresses, which is visible yung list ng recipients sa direct email recipient. Then we have BCC, or the blind carbon copy. If you are sending a copy of the email to a list of recipients which is not visible to direct email recipient. For the subject line, you need to keep it short and straight to the point. So you should only answer the question, what is the email about? Next is that you should avoid starting your email with time-sensitive salutations, just like good morning. Why do we need to avoid time-sensitive salutations? Possible na hindi ito mabasa agad dun sa time frame na nilagay mo. Magkakaroon ng hint si Mr. Terry that you are expecting an immediate response. At hindi natin gustong ipa-fill yung way na yun sa ating. That's why we can resort in writing "Dear Mr. Terry" or to reflect Mr. Terry or to the hiring manager or position. Ang last na resort natin or last option natin, if you don't know the name of our recipient or even the position of the recipient, as to whom it may concern. Now we have here, do not overdo it, or do not overdo the content of your email. With emails, it's best to be clear and concise. If possible, Keep it to 5 sentences at most. Keep the small talk short or avoid it completely. Kasi ginagawa lang natin tong small talk sa letter. Kasi sa letter, you need to introduce yourself. You need to introduce your purpose for writing. Pero sa email, pwedeng mag-direct to the point ka na. So try to only have one main topic per point in your email. Dahil pag dami ng topics, paggulo ng iyong email, at paggulo ng email, hindi niya na na-achieve yung conciseness at clarity yung hinahanap natin when it comes to composing your email. Then always write respectfully and professionally. Sign up your email professionally. We have here different options. Thank you, thanks in advance, regards, sincerely, and kind regards. But never na merong kalakip na emotion yung iyong complimentary flows, such as love you and yours and forever. When we are using email, it is intended for professional purposes. So how are you going to clean and organize your email? So ang unang kailangan nyo gawin is organize. Take advantage of features that allow you to organize the emails you receive into categories, such as primary, social, and promotions. In doing so, madali nyo makikita kung ano yung mga emails na important sa inyo as the recipient. At madali nyo ding malalaman kung alin yung pwede na i-delete or alin yung mga spam na mail. Apart from that, you can also tag a specific email as important or click yung star button. And second, reason kung bakit kayo nagkakategorize is for you to easily delete your messages. Subscriptions, unnecessary notifications, updates, and no reply mails. You should delete those. Then you should keep your inbox clean so that it will not only help you avoid missing out on important email, but it also helps you feel less overwhelmed whenever you log in. Then set aside a specific time in your day to work through your email inbox. To avoid checking your emails throughout the day, and it is best to systematically go through them all at once. Try to read and reply to emails only once or twice a day at a specific time. And if possible, turn on a net notification for that particular account para if in case may ma-receive kayong email, mag-notify na agad. Do not expect to get an immediate response on email. Kasi when we are using email, ibig sabihin, we are willing to wait kung kailan mababasa pa lang yung email yun. If that is an urgent matter, you should call or text the person instead. A tip here, you can schedule emails on Gmail. Besides the send button is a toggle down arrow that gives you the option to schedule send. The email you compose, you can select the date and time you want to send your email. Para saan po ba natin magagamit ang email when it comes to our field of work? If ever that you are the secretary, or if ever you are the one who was assigned to remind all the participants day before the meeting, isa sa best options niyo yung paggamit ng scheduled mail. Para if in case na kahit kayo mismo, makalimutan ninyo mag-remind dun sa participants about the meeting, kung meron na kayo naka-scheduled na mail, magsasend na to automatically. Okay, right here, I want you to look for the errors. Moving forward, let's now talk about memorandum. Memos, these are in-house documents sent within an organization to pass along or request information, outline policies, present short reports, and propose ideas. And while they are often used to inform, they can also be persuasive documents. Memorandum format, we should have here the logo or letterhead na pwede siyang naka-align sa center or naka-align sa right. Just like sa letter, your logo or letterhead should contain the logo of the company, Then we have the company name, company address, and company contact details. Our second part, which is the word memorandum. But nowadays, this word memorandum was replaced by memorandum order number, which is also accepted. You can see here the two line. Then we have from line. Then date naman natin kung kailan nasulat. Just like in writing your letter, kung kailan sinulat ang letter, yun ang magre-reflect na date sa memorandum. Then subject line. Same purpose ng letter sa memorandum. Subject line will tell your reader kung tungkol saan ang inyong memorandum. Next, we have here the separatory or the dividing line. Para ma-separate natin yung header with the content of your memorandum. In writing your body of the in writing the actual message of the memorandum, you should only answer 3 questions. Una is that, why am I reading this? Bakit ko kinakailangan basahin ko? May kinalaman ba ito sa akin? So yun dapat ang masasagot na tanong sa first sentences pa lang ng iyong memorandum. Second, what do I need to know? So, lay down the information that your reader needs to know. Next to it is that, alam ko na kung bakit ko ito kinakailangan basahin kasi involved ako. Ano yung gagawin ko dito sa information na binigay mo? That will be included on the third part. Ano yung action kinakailangan gawin ng iyong reader? Or, what is the expected response from the reader? Apart from that, you can also use a table in your memorandum to present comprehensive messages to our reader. Then we have here signature. The signature line or sa signature block, sa Philippines ang ginagawa natin, signature, full name, then position or title of the sender or the signatory. Let's take a look at the next sample from Batangas State University. So we have here Republic of the Philippines, Batangas State University. This will be the name of the company or name of the institution. Bakit po may Republic of the Philippines? It shows na ang Batangas State University is a public institution. So it is managed by the government. That's why we have here Republic of the Philippines. Then Batangas City, address of the institution, and then we have here telephone number, email address, and website address. The contact information or the contact details. Next, Office of the University President. Bakit po hindi yung memorandum na word? We have here the Memorandum Order Number 405 Series of 2020. Pero bakit po nauna yung Office of the University President sa Memorandum Order Number? This is to highlight that this particular memorandum came from the Office of the University President. And accepted pa rin natin tong format na to since when we are talking about memorandum, it is an in-house document or it is circulated within the company. That's why we can devise our own format for a memorandum as long as the essential parts and format will be present. So, na-follow naman natin. At first glance, mukha naman siyang memorandum. Andun pa rin naman yung essential parts. Ano po ba na tinatawag natin essential parts? Una dyan, yung header. Pangalawa, yung memorandum order or yung word na memorandum. Then, from line, andito naman siya. Then, we have to our recipients, to all concerned. Then, we have the subject line, suspension of work and classes, as well as date line, kung kailan nasulat yung inyong memorandum. Bakit po meron dyang through line? Wala naman siya sa sample format kanina. Kasi po, through line is an optional part for a memorandum. Next, we have our dividing line before tayo mag-proceed sa body of your memorandum. Let's take a look kung nasagot ba niya yung 3 questions natin in the memorandum. So first, unang question natin doon, so you can remember, why am I reading this? Ano yung kinalaman ko sa memorandum na to? Bakit ito kailangan basahin? So pursuant to the Memorandum Circular Number 82 dated November 11, 2020 of the Office of the President of the Philippines, work and classes in all levels. If you feel that you have something to do with the work and classes in all levels, therefore you should read the memorandum. So it answered the questions, why am I reading this? Next is question natin, what do I need to know? Both synchronous and asynchronous are hereby suspended effective 3 o'clock in the afternoon today until November 12 November 2020. So in this sense, nasagot ko ano yung information na kinakailangan mong malaman. Okay, so alam ko na kung ano yung information. Alam ko na may suspension of classes from 3 o'clock in the afternoon today to November 12, 2020. So what should I do with it? That will answer our third question. Kung ano yung action or yung response expected from the reader. The response or the action expected is that the Red Spartan community is encouraged to observe safety precautions until the situation has normalized for information and widest dissemination. So based sa analysis natin, nasagot naman ng ating body ng memorandum yung 3 questions natin when it comes to writing memorandum. Next part natin, next essential or basic part is the signature. Dito makikita ay we have the signature over printed name, then we have the title or position of the sender. Again, accepted siya since this one is the device format for the institution. Next is we have CC or the carbon copy to state that someone else has copy of the memorandum. So that will be the end of lecture.